Growing up, we have learned to always judge an action before taking it. When we get an idea or a whiff of curiosity, the first thing we do is evaluate it against the fixed plan in our heads, whether it aligns with our life goals. We look at the 10 steps ahead version and then the full potential or form of that action. And then we decide, okay, this doesn't make any sense. And finally, this leads to inaction. And for the longest time, I thought this was the right way to live because it seems productive. It seems like the responsible thing to do, one where we think we are prioritizing our goals and ambition. So that meant whenever I went for a walk or whenever I was commuting, whenever I had even 10 minutes idle, I was always optimizing that time to get more productive. Maybe listen to a podcast about how to grow businesses, or maybe read a book that would help me in my career somewhere. But I've come to realize now that this way of life, which is taught and celebrated by society, is actually quite draining, not to mention completely boring. It pulls us out of sync with who we are and what we truly want to do. And ironically, the more we optimize, the more our life gets limited. Why? Because it is our inner GPS, or these whiffs of curiosity, our intuition, that guide us on how to participate intelligently, adventurously in this life and in the reality that unfolds. We are a sub-process in this meticulously interconnected, enormous process that is the universe. So we don't exist independent of it. And knowing that, which by the way is now scientifically proven, using our limited minds to take action and to guide us is a very unintelligent way to live. And that is because the thinking mind is actually a tool and not a driver of your life. It's not meant to give you direction. It's meant to be a tool to be used in certain cases. And it's an incredible tool at taking all your past experiences, slicing things, analyzing things, protecting you for survival. The inner GPS, our intuition or our pulls of curiosity, on the other hand, are most times illogical. And that's because we don't see the full picture. We just get that nudge in that moment, which is now, but we don't know how it connects to the larger process that is the universe. And perhaps we get to know that over time. The dots connect in hindsight, as Steve Jobs would say, or perhaps we'll never know. But taking that action is how we live in alignment and how we can live a very fulfilling, adventurous, and exhilarating life. Following our inner GPS is how we're meant to live. And children do this all the time. My kids know what to do without thinking. They get an idea, they get a pull of curiosity, they take action. Or at least they try to. And these days, I'm trying not to limit them, even though my autopilot as a parent tells me to do so. And in the name of good behavior and molding to these social norms, we as parents and the larger society, education, all of us stifle this inner voice by the time the kids are grown up. So when we follow our inner GPS or our intuition, we can actually swing with the big swings of life. We can make those serendipitous moments more frequent and more commonplace. This means synchronicities that show up out of the blue, more moments of luck and more moments of a magical way to live where things just fall in alignment. Our inner GPS keeps us open and receptive to what is unfolding in the reality all around us. It expands our awareness to not just be focused on the fixed plan in our heads, which is a very narrow perspective to have in life, but rather be open and receptive to all possibilities. And that is also because our goals and the path to it, which is guided by our intuition, come from the same source, the creator in us. The one consciousness, the universe mind. Think about why you desire certain things, why you want certain things, or why you're curious about certain things. You'll find that there's no real logical reason to it. It just is. And the same goes for your intuition and your pulse of curiosity that then pull you in the direction of those wants, of those goals. So life is not about the end goals then, because the end goals are inevitable if you follow the path. And they are inevitable if we get out of the way. And that means not use our thinking mind, not use our fixed minds, but rather use our intuition to guide us. So then we can relax and actually enjoy this journey. We can actually soak in full moments of the present, of the marvel and the interconnectedness of every single thing around us, including us. Whether it is the beautiful shades of the sky or the leaves on a tree swaying with gentle wind, or the faces of our children trying to tell us things with uncontained excitement. We're actually noticing these things and being present with them when we have this expanded, calm, exuberant state of awareness. We can now truly live in these moments without attachment to our end goals, knowing that we're full on our way to them, whether or not the path makes logical sense. The goals will happen, and we will live an exuberant, adventurous, peaceful, calm, joyful life, living on that path when we follow our inner GPS, our personal cosmic connection to the universe. Thank you for watching.